Alright, what's going on, guys? It is your boy TKD12D here, back in here on PlayStation Source, and we have a few things I want to talk about here regarding, of course, the PS5 and different things, of course, revolving around the world that we live in currently right now with everything that's going on, beyond these walls, because I am, definitely quarantined up here in my room. But beside the point, we got some new things to talk about involving PS5 and PlayStation exclusives and how certain or uncertain they are that they will still be coming at their projected dates. And so this has been, talked about for a few weeks now, after, now that we have this week, of course, we have the Olympics canceled and a bunch of other things canceled. Of course, we had E3 in the gaming space. That was pretty big. They got canceled as well. So things are just tumbling down in terms of the effects of not only, the lives of the world, of course, with this virus, but also with the entertainment business and, more specifically the gaming business and how it's having effects on our business overall, right? So we had some interesting quotes here that were given to Bloomberg by a Sony spokeswoman that I want to read to you all, that kind of does reiterate some things and how they are looking at the PS5 currently with taking into account the virus going on right now. And so it says here, quote, a Sony spokeswoman said it doesn't see any notable impact on the launch of its next generation game console, PlayStation 5, planned at the end of this year. And so this was given to us from a quote from a Sony spokeswoman, as said before, in a Bloomberg report. Again, links are down below in the description. And this isn't the first time actually this week that Sony has kind of publicly said that, hey, the PS5 is still coming out in 2020. If you recall a video that we did earlier this week, we did, make the point that the Sony website was updated again to kind of double down on that 2020 release date, that like holiday 2020 frame of PlayStation 5's launch, as they updated the PS5 portion of their website to reflect that they are still committed to dropping this console on holiday 2020. So that is what they are saying publicly. Like that is kind of where they are gauging at. They say here in the article that they don't see any notable impacts on launch with next gen. But the story does get a little bit different here in terms of their exclusives, right? Like with, of course, what about the games? Like of course the hardware is a big deal. They want to start a new generation this year and stuff like that. Obviously want to go into PS5, but what does it have to entail of the stuff that's coming a little bit more sooner than PS5? Like, of course, The Last of Us Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima, Iron Man VR perhaps could be in that space and stuff like that. So what do they say about PlayStation exclusives? So this was from a statement that they issued on their official website, and they say here, quote, although no issues have emerged so far, Sony is carefully monitoring the risk of delays in production schedules for game software titles at both its first party studios and partner studios as well, primarily in Europe and in the United States. It also doesn't expect the coronavirus to have a material impact on the business for this current fiscal year. And so that is where they are having their stance on when it comes to software and games and different stuff like that. And so what I really want to focus here is that they say here that while no issues have emerged so far, they tend to be on the side of they expect that everything will be running according to plan as of right now, right? And I do want to express my own thoughts, my own opinions personally, which I know a lot of people have different opinions and stuff like that, and etc. But I want to definitely have the second half of this portion be a little bit more opinionated of this video. And one thing I want to kind of prop up as kind of like an example point is, right now I want you all to go to Amazon and try and buy a Switch, or go to a store and try and buy a Switch. Right now you can't really get your hands on the Switch that easily right now. Like they are not running at full capacity on the production plants and stuff like that over in China and different territories around the world and stuff like that. Obviously with people with the coronavirus are being told to stay indoors and stay at home, etc. Don't go to work, of course, if it's only essential, like healthcare and food, and different stuff like that, right? So we have already a first-hand account at looking at how does console hardware look like right now in terms of production currently, right? And not even take into account the next gen consoles that have to start ramping up production here pretty soon in the next few weeks. I want to say maybe production has to be ramping up around maybe late April or early May, just ballparking stuff. Definitely by the summer, they do have to be having those warehouses start pumping out these PS5s and these Xbox Series X as well. So if we're having issues right now with, Nintendo not being able to manufacture Switches to have stocks filled right now currently, that just tells me that, look, right now, at least what I feel, right? And I've said this on the Discord as well. Make sure to go check out that Discord link down below in the description, the PlayStation Shorts Discord. We have a lot of cool conversations on there. Definitely go check out that Discord link down below. But what I was saying there, this morning is that I feel that everything past April is, I don't know, territory. It's in it is in limbo. It is in complete contention right now, everything past April, right? I think we are safe with Final Fantasy VII Remake. I think we're safe with RE3 Remake, you know what I'm saying? And the biggest one, out there is, of course, the PlayStation exclusives that, are very much near us and definitely not, a little bit more further away like the PS5 is, right? So, of course, Last of Us Part 2, let's talk about it, right? So, I don't I think all I'm saying here is that The Last of Us Part 2 is not safe, right? I could see that game getting delayed or getting pushed in some sort of facet because of this virus. To have people in the dev studio right now, and I'm not sure if there have been reports right now of them, still working from home. I believe they're working from home. I could be wrong on that. I haven't checked before this video, but I'm just going off of just looking outside in, looking at everything that's going on. We're having movies delayed. We're having a bunch of other production stuff getting delayed as well, and the same goes along for games as well and stuff like that. Even we had the likes of Capcom and a bunch of other companies saying that even this week, actually, if you look at Nintendo's Direct Mini this week, they were saying that all these dates that we are showing here on this Direct are pretty much also in limbo in a sort of way because of course the virus that we are getting right now and what we've been working through right now the past few weeks. And so I feel like if everything else is being affected, there's no way that Sony and all the first party and all the second party and third party are fine as well. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we have what they said here, right? They said that, they see no issues right now. No issues have emerged so far. They're monitoring the risk of delays in production and stuff like that. They're monitoring all that. They think that the PS5 production plan as of right now is going smoothly. Everything's going fine. But that is right now. That's what I want to focus. That's right now. And who knows where we will be post April, you know what I'm saying? Who knows where we'll be in May or June or July? Who knows how far this is going to extend? Because right now, at least in the States, right? I live in the United States. Right now, this is week 2 of absolute things have hit the fan. You know what I'm saying? Things are going down. This is week 2, right? So of course there are other places in the world where things are a lot better. Things are definitely, getting back up to speed, and different stuff like that. But here in the US, where we have Naughty Dog here, we have Sucker Punch up in Seattle right now as well. We're gonna go to Ghost of Tsushima, and I know Seattle got hit really hard as well, with the virus and stuff like that. So who knows where we're gonna end up? They were even saying the Final Fantasy VII Remake might have issues in terms of getting physical discs out there. Everything right now is in a state of we're not sure. It is we are right now in uncharted territories right now. You know what I'm saying? So that's just kind of what I wanted to bring up here. Obviously, I did want to bring you all these quotes from Sony about how they feel about PS5 and where they're at and how they feel internally and stuff like that and what they've chosen to say publicly, right? But I'm more on the side of I would rather, expect a delay and get it than not expect one and get it, if that makes sense. I'd rather be more safe than sorry, be more cautious than upfront about, oh yeah, there's definitely no delays and stuff like that. Everything's gonna go off a hitch, because who knows? Really nobody knows. And I don't know if maybe they have the same type of thought that hey, we're gonna speak about right now, and right now the PS5 is going okay. Right now, all the first parties and stuff, we are monitoring it, but everything seems to be going okay. Like, and maybe that could of course be true, but I feel like if things were, you know, having issues, I feel like they'd be a little more cautious and want to wait until they're absolutely sure that things are going down. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I mostly want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. What are your thoughts on this whole thing? What do you think is going down? Because I guess those are my thoughts. Like, I feel like my overall thesis is that everything past April is in contention. Also, just realized that I was recording with these blue lights on. I don't know why these you know what, whatever, I digress. Hope you all enjoyed the blue lights, but that's pretty much all I got to say here, guys. Let me know what you see in the comments below. What are you guys' thoughts on them still kind of, you know, having the statements out there that they are still on track with PS5 and they are just monitoring the, you know, whole situation involving PlayStation software exclusives like, of course, Last of Us Part 2 and Ghost of Tsushima, Iron Man VR, etc. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and make sure also while you are down there to check out our description where you can find our Twitter, our Anchor, as well as our Discord link. And make sure to check out the Anchor link if you want to listen to our long form content in podcast format. That, of course, being Road to Part 2, Road to 5 Days of Remake, as well as Save Slot Podcast, all down below in the description. Like the video if you enjoyed that, so stay subscribed to PlayStation Stores to keep up with the latest and greatest in PlayStation. Thank you for watching, and as always, greatness awaits.